Welcome and thank you for joining me. I'm Jerry Oginski, a New York medical malpractice and personal injury trial lawyer practicing law here in the state of New York. Today's video tip will explain some basic definitions that you may already know or may have heard, but just want to understand exactly what's going on. What is a plaintiff? A plaintiff is someone who actually brings a lawsuit. What is a defendant? A defendant is someone who is being sued. Now, in a civil case involving personal injury or accident cases or death cases or even medical malpractice cases, a defendant is simply someone who is being sued, whether it's a person, a doctor, hospital, or somebody else. The next definition I want to talk about is an examination before trial. That's also known as a deposition. It's basically a question and answer session where the attorney for the other side gets a chance to question you at some point during the litigation to find out from you what happened. They want to know how the injuries have affected you on a daily basis. They want to know what injuries you have. And at some point during the course of the lawsuit, I will have the opportunity to question the people that we are suing. The next thing we're going to talk about is summary judgment. What is that? It means that one side is going to ask the court for a decision to be rendered in their favor in the case. Well, how could that happen? At the end of the discovery part of the lawsuit, when each side has now had an opportunity to get all the documents that are supposed to be exchanged, and now they've had a chance to question all of the witnesses, we now put the case on the trial calendar, letting the court know your case is ready for trial. The defense will oftentimes turn around and say, hey, wait a second. You don't have a valid case, so we are now going to ask the court to dismiss your lawsuit against us. But a motion for summary judgment is a request to get out of the case. What's next? Okay, here's a fancy term. It's a Latin term that you will hear an attorney talk about or read an attorney talk about on an appeal. Here's the scenario. You've now gone to trial. You have been awarded money by a jury. Now the defense stands up and says, Judge, we think that the jury's verdict should be thrown out, that it's inconsistent with the testimony that we have heard in this trial. We want a judgment non obstante verdicto. That's a fancy, antiquated legal term for meaning that the decision rendered by the jury is totally inconsistent with what we've heard here in court. And therefore, you should throw out the decision and give it no weight whatsoever, and we should start fresh all over again with a new trial. And that's it for today's video explanation about certain definitions in medical malpractice cases here in the state of New York. If you have questions about malpractice cases, I can answer them. I can answer your legal questions as well. Pick up the phone and call me. I urge you to do so at 516-487-8207, or you can reach me by email at lawmed10@yahoo.com. I'm Jerry Oginski. Thank you for joining me. Have a great day.